Hi everyone. First thing I'm going to do is apologize for leaving you out in the cold for the last few days. We have been so busy pushing some awesome new stuff to thenewchess.com as you see, but mainly covering the Grandmaster Blitz Battle Championship, which if you're not following, you issue man or woman. So no excuses, just results here. I apologize for getting away from the goal of a daily video on every move. But to be perfectly honest, I think that sometimes the videos where we're actually able to dive into analysis on several moves in a row and really show where multiple different areas of calculation are concerned and different strategical decisions. I think it might even be a better video, a little bit longer, but maybe a little more relevant than just a 2-3 minute video that explains why I played an obvious move. So not really an excuse. The goal is still to maintain daily videos with every move that we play here in our match versus each other. By the way, thanks everybody. I just saw this. If we go back to Vote Chess, everybody, we now have 5,000 players. Sweet town, way to go. Thanks for telling your friends. If you didn't tell any of your friends and somehow we got to 5,000 players anyway, that's okay. You get to take credit. So be my guest and take some credit. So we're going to back up to where we last left off, which was move 20. If you didn't see the move 20 video, it's over at the chess.com YouTube channel. I'll give you a link to it right here so you can go see what we talked about on move 20, where the decision was made, of course, to take on f5. And this is where we were, where there were some critical decisions to be made. We're going to flip to the analysis board and back up to talk about the fact that here I had to decide, was it worth trying to give up the bishop for the knight in order to gain a tempo on the queen and try to coordinate my pieces with an initiative. In the end, I decided keeping this dark square bishop for both defensive purposes on g5, on f2, and just the fact that I didn't see anything concrete about taking and playing knight d3 were all good enough reasons to actually try to offer an exchange of the knights rather than bishop for knight. So again, a line that might have happened there is after all of you decided to take f5, if I had taken here and played knight here, not really worried about a move like queen d4, as I calculated this would get your first lady trapped. But if you come back to c7, I see several problems with my position. One, I can't really play c5 anyway because the whole tactical idea that we've calculated in the previous videos isn't possible with the queen being blocked. Plans of playing like f3 and trying to relocate the knight to a solid light square, seem really good at first, makes you feel all warm and cozy if that knight can establish itself. But I felt that even simple plans like establishing your own attack on the dark squares would more than justify for my strong pony. So just didn't see anything worth it, and giving up that bishop is just not something that I really want to do to give you access to the dark squares. So that's why I played knight to d3, making up for that lost video, and I have a concrete threat. So if you had played a move like rook f8, you would have lost immediately to knight takes and then d6. This tactic where I sort of overwhelm the queen's responsibilities to guard both the bishop on d6 and the bishop on b7 is a little bit of a card I've had in my back pocket to play here for the last several videos, as all of you have noticed and been learning from. So that wasn't really a possibility. You guys played the best move, which I think was knight takes d3, and doing a video on queen takes d3 I don't think was really necessary, as any other move would have let you just walk away with a full piece and tell your friends about it. And after queen takes d3, you played the most obvious move, rook a to f8, which supports your rook on the f-file, increases your pressure on the king side. And this is where we stood until about 10 hours ago when I made my move that we're going to talk about now. I played the move c5, which is risky. I had to play it very quickly because I was focused, as I said, on the Grandmaster Blitz Battles coverage and some other stuff we got going on, and so I came to the board with only a few minutes to move. I think it even showed 0 seconds on the clock, but it hadn't actually hit the server, so don't freak out. I didn't lose on time. And so I played c5 very quickly, calculating the following. If d takes c5, I have d6. If you take on g2, I win your queen. If you take on d6, I take here. And once again, I don't see anything really concrete. If takes and takes, I don't see any win for you, right? That's one of the key points of having the bishop here. I don't think my king is getting checkmated. I hope I'm right. Obviously, if there's some sort of really amazing line you guys have already calculated with like queen in here and you take h3, it's possible I could go on to lose to this attack, but somehow I doubt it. Queen over to g6 and come to g2. If you try to play rook f6 first, I can give check and then get out of it. So I don't think I'm going to suffer tactical consequences, at least on the king side, in terms of the plan that I've chosen with c5. A move I calculated quickly that I'm worried you guys might go for was takes, and here, and I thought that this might look a little scary, but then I realized this is probably just way too much material for you to give up without any follow-ups, right? If you had another rook on a8, a third rook, mind you, you could play rook f8, but you don't. So that leaves us in the live position where it is currently the world's move right here. As you see, I use this cute little analysis button. That's what allows me to move the pieces, if you're wondering how I did that. And then you can go back to the current position just like that. So in the current position, Black has to decide how they want to handle c5. Either I miscalculated something and you guys are going to try to play d takes c5, allowing this fork idea to sort of overwhelm the queen's responsibilities. But I don't see it getting anything, which means I'm expecting instead, I'm expecting you guys to play maybe even something like bishop c8, bringing the bishop, let's go to analysis mode again, like bishop c8, bringing the bishop around to the king side. And I can either try to take on d6 and then use the newly open lines for counterplay, or play a move like c6 and hope for the long-term compensation of a very, very strong protected pass pawn. I don't know what the potential of Black's attack is here yet. I'm scared about my open g file. I'm scared about the open g file. I'm scared about the weak h3 pawn. I'm scared about pressure on f2. So there are definitely some chances here for Black on the king side that I'm going to have to calculate really well. And especially over the next few moves, you're definitely going to get a video per day by me, because I think every move offers enough instructive moments and enough to calculate about that I won't leave you empty-handed and give you some instructional takeaways. So again, please forgive me. As you know, I'll repeat again. So the last video you saw was g takes f5, but since I'd already spent a decent amount of time explaining that I probably wouldn't go for this, I felt like you guys might forgive me if I just played knight d3 and queen takes d3 without really giving you a video. So really, officially, the only moves you got without a video were knight d3 and queen d3, since I've now spent the time explaining c5 and kicked it over to you with it being the world to move. You have 16 hours and 7 minutes as of the time of me making this video. Probably by the time you watch it, maybe 13, 14, 12, why am I even guessing what you do with your life? I don't know what you do with your life. Manage your own life, right? All right, so again, if you're wondering what this was, this is Master versus Many. I'm the red pawn. You guys are the big meanie heads peering over me. Subscribe to the channel, please, right here, right now. Tell your friends about the channel. There's lots of other videos. Just released a Chess Rivals against Simon Williams. I'll give you guys a link to that right here, right now. Go check that out. Have fun. Make your move, world. Thanks for getting us over 5,000 team members. Let's go for more, right? Why stop now? The game's only heating up. 7,500 members, you say? Let's get some more voters, everybody, and thanks for forgiving me for the lack of a video. Peace.